When students are doing these projects, you can hear a pin drop in the room. Because first of all, they're excited to find out what's going on. Then when they're creating, they're literally creating, they're excited about, for example, this one's great. The layout of where to put these pictures. She had to find these pictures. This is a project on Enka. And the student put a lot of good effort and time into finding out about Enka, but also the design of this, as you can see. She had to make decisions about where to put the text, where to put these pictures. And so students are really excited to be creating something. And so for me, that's big. I really literally started just bookmarking, how we used to keep bookmarks on our computer, right? We have this little place where we can keep bookmarks. Well, now with websites like Delicious and Diigo, you can keep bookmarks online, which basically kind of frees you up. So any computer you go to, there are your bookmarks. And so that was like step one. Like, okay, now, wow, that's cool. I'm keeping bookmarks not on my computer. They're everywhere.
They're up in the cloud.
They're everywhere. They're in the cloud, right? And then you kind of get that idea that, oh, well, if you could do that with bookmarks, pretty much everything could be there. And that's what Google Docs is. Google Docs is, for all intents and purposes, Microsoft Office in the cloud, free. So why not use it? So I would say you start, if you're a teacher, okay, you're teaching science. Start gathering some information about science. Go find some blogs out there and just bookmark them. So now you're kind of a consumer of this, and in the process you're learning what people are already doing. And you're going to discover that there are tens of thousands of teachers doing this. There are many classes of students doing this throughout the world. And that's the other thing, is that the internet's global. So you realize, wow, they're doing this in Australia, they're doing this in England, they're doing this everywhere, India and also the U.S. One of the, it's funny because one of the things that's driving it is Twitter. And Twitter, people think, oh, how inane. In fact, I had a principal last year say, I'm too busy to have time to tell the world what I'm doing, or whatever it was. And I kind of got back and said, well, if you go online, you actually check it out, you'll learn that there's superintendents and principals and teachers on Twitter, all basically sharing good information. Which actually brings me to the idea of why would you do it? Why would you spend the time to just share information? And well, that's a whole thing about how things have changed in terms of the nature of just giving. Because the more you give, the more that seems to come back. And that's a lot of what people are doing. It's like, if you find a cool site, why keep it to yourself? If you know there's tens of thousands of educators out there, you think it's cool, you want to use it in class, well, others might as well. So if you put it out there, chances are, like that week, you're going to get like 5 or 10 more things from other people like, oh, thanks for that, here's another one. And then it builds from there. So I use Twitter for that, to find resources, and my PLN on Twitter is all doing the same thing, all throughout the world. And it's growing. It's growing every day. Great website for a teacher to get started to learn about this is Classroom 2.0. Literally, Google Classroom 2.0, and up comes what's basically a social networking site. And it's basically teachers using these kind of tools in class. All types of teachers, all different subject matters. And there's forums, and you can ask questions, you can post questions, you can respond to questions. Or you can just be an interloper and just see what's going on. And then that's where you get ideas, For a while, you just kind of hang out and see what's up, Oh, that's cool. I think I'll appropriate that, and I'll start doing that in my class, So Classroom 2.0 is a good one, just for kind of dealing with how to do it and what's worked in classrooms. Is a great site called Fireside Learning. Fireside Learning is just sort of educators kind of coming around and talking about what they've done and maybe some of the problems, but not really getting into the nitty-gritty of using tools. There's a new one too. It's called the Educators PLN. PLN is a personal learning network or a professional learning network, depending on who you're talking to. And that's a big word that's being bandied around now, PLN, my PLN online. I learned so much from my PLN, I have a little issue with that because it kind of, to me, it binds it. It's sort of like my PLN. It's like these specific people and that's it. But yeah, that's another one. Educators PLN, and there's tens of thousands of teachers there. And I saw that thing start. I saw the day that it started. Within a week, there were 2,000 people on that. Teachers.